Hi, everybody. I'm Betty, and welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. This is the energy update for September. Well, last month's Lionsgate portal opening was really, really rough and tough on everybody, pushing everybody to their breaking point. It was a rough passage for many. Even the divine had commented that the wise and the seasoned ones were even struggling. So that speaks volumes in itself. But we're moving out of that intense energy and many lessons as we went through that. We did receive Syrian light codes during that time period. Timelines were shifting. We had blue flame frequencies that were purifying us in the areas that we needed to be purified in. And you might have also felt that your third eye and your crown was being activated and coded. Usually, with the third eye, you'll feel like a pulsing or something moving around. And with the crown area, you'll generally feel like an itchiness. You want to scratch. And that's just the codes that are coming into us and being activated. So a lot happened, but we've moved out of that energy, although it will continue for another 6 months afterwards to stay with us. It's not that intense that we felt at that point. So keep continuing to create what you love in any form that is meant for you and keep bringing it forward. Don't allow yourself to get stuck in the muck and the negativity that is out there, that is basically bombards us all around, whether it's people, the media. It doesn't make any difference. Don't allow those fears or other people's problems and issues to hold you back. Just keep moving forward, be present, and allow your own solutions to rise and find a way to manifest. So hopefully we have a little bit of a breather now until the next set of energies come in. Of course, we have the new moon on the 7th, we have the harvest moon on the 20th, and then we have another portal opening, which is August 22nd, which is the autumnal equinox. So that's always a huge energy and coding that we get at that point. And that also will last for about 6 months afterwards. Then we on the 27th to October 17th, we have our last Mercury retrograde of the year. Of course, the pre starts September 6th and then the post shadow lasts till November 3rd. If you want more information about that, you can research that. But this is a time to watch during these retrogrades for unconscious patterns. So pay close attention to yourself and see what keeps arising during each retrograde. So if you see the same issues arising, then it probably is an unawareness of what's going on, and you need to kind of get to the root of that and learn the lesson so you can move forward. Or you get to repeat it on the next Mercury retrograde. That's always the way it works. So, but I will post all of the dates on Instagram and Facebook, and then the light codes for this month also will be there. I would like to also, before I begin, to address what's been occurring with the spiritual community in particular. It's all over, but they've been really hitting the spiritual community hard, working on people's emotions, and unfortunately, but many have been targeted by hackers, spams, and threats. So just so you know, I will never solicit or contact you. All transactions and messages go directly through my website. I do not schedule sessions on either one of those sites. I will never ask you for money. I will never ask you for any personal information. So please be aware and verify all information, because the scammers and hackers are just rampant at this point. So please use your intuition and your discernment when doing so. And again, only through my website will I answer you. And so just be aware of that. And any other sites that you visit too, and just make sure you report these people. So currently, the earth and all of its inhabitants are experiencing accelerated growth as we continue to ascend. Now, we're always ascending or descending depending on the cycle, but we're in the ascended cycle now. So as life moves quicker, many are noticing that they feel different. Now, we are all on a spiritual journey, but those individuals whose intention is to take the spiritual path, you will experience many different stages as you go along. I'm going to give you, quote, the Cliff Notes version of this, and just remember that you have your own path, and certain things that I'm going to talk about are going to develop at different times. This is just a generalization of what can happen, and trust me when I tell you, it's just a little tiny piece of everything that you experience when you are on the spiritual path. So, but this is just like I said, a general overview. And everyone's path is unique. So sometimes things, will not relate to you, and you'll experience things that no one else does. So be okay with that. Because I know myself, going through my journey, I couldn't find the answers I was looking for out there, with books and different things like that. People that I went to, they couldn't give me the answers that I was looking for. So it doesn't always, everything you read or listen to, will not always apply to you. So just keep that in mind. And each lifetime is set up by your soul on the other side, and it offers, with each lifetime that we come down here, many different opportunities to grow and to experience many different things. So as we walk what is called the hero's journey to enlightenment, and that can take many, many lifetimes. For most of us, there's probably maybe a 0.5% that have done it in a few lives. So it's common to just, work on one thing in one life and then come back and works as you learn the lessons. So the first stage of the journey I liken to the honeymoon stage, where everything is wonderful and love is everywhere and there's roses and everything. Nothing goes wrong. It's all beautiful. And at this point, something has usually sparked your interest. It could be a person, or it could be something that you saw, something. It could actually, they're saying to me now, there actually could be, it's your time and spirit is activating you on the other side. So there's different ways that can come about, which sparks your interest. And when you start to delve into it, you find all these new experiences, and you're amazed and excited and curious, and you're exploring and expanding and absorbing all at the same time, because this is something that you haven't been taught, you were never aware of, and you're going, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know that this was possible. So it's a brand new world when you're at this stage, and you can't wait to share what you've discovered with others. Then moving into the next stage, you're kind of diving headfirst into learning and studying subjects that you are drawn to. They could be various subjects as learning about crystals or oils, numerology, tarot, horoscopes, chakras, yoga, meditation, tai chi, qigong, and the list goes on. Okay. Oftentimes, one subject will just lead you to another, to another, to another. So it's kind of a snowball effect as you're picking all this up and learning. It is definitely a time of study and learning about tools and how to utilize them. And, with each of those subjects, bear in mind um, certain subjects. I know the divine had me studying not just a short period of time, but years, and it kept getting deeper and deeper. So if there's something you're really drawn to and you say, you know what, this is my path, you might spend a whole lot more time in that area of study because that is what you're drawn to, that is what you're meant to do. So that's a time of study and learning. The next stage is self-awareness. This is where you start to go inward and take a look at yourself. And you're taking classes and seminars, and you might be going on sacred journeys. You will get interested in energy healings and maybe get readings from mediums or psychics or different people. There's just a multitude of metaphysical information out there. So this is when you start to also connect with your higher self and start to connect with the other side. And it's different for everybody, so keep that in mind. Some people are takes them much longer. Some people have that ability right away. So don't ever go by what somebody else is doing or what their gift is, because yours might be totally different or yours is going to unfold in a different way. You also start paying attention more to your intuition as you go inward, and you now see signs and symbols and synchronicities in everything, where before you might have noticed one or two things. Now you're seeing it everywhere, which is great, because the universe is always talking to us in different ways. And in the beginning, it's more so with feathers. It can be birds. It can be animals. You can have a stranger come up and just give you a message in a store that they don't know they're giving you the message, but you're understanding it. Oh, that was meant for me. So it's a time where you're recognizing, and they're also saying right now, numbers are really big. Pay attention to the numbers, and if you're not if especially the repeating ones, or ones that go like 4, 5, 6, 7, things like that, pay attention to that, because you can look those up and there'll be a message in that also. And also, if you want to dive deeper into numerology, you'll understand the meanings of all these numbers. The next stage is self-care. This is learning about yourself and how to be present, to look at yourself honestly and deeply. This is not surface stuff. This is going in deeper and look at things like that you don't want to see, and being honest and being able to access that wherever you are. So if you have a pattern that you would like to break or shift, you'll be able to now come into that realization of when you're doing it, and you'll catch yourself and you'll say, oh wait a minute, I want to shift that pattern. I don't want to keep repeating that. And you're able to just acknowledge it and shift it at that point. So it becomes where you're living more and more in the moment and not so distracted from the outside world. You're learning to live from your heart space and be neutral. So no matter what goes on around you, you can stay in that heart space and nothing affects you. You're also a point where you're able to notice your triggers. So if there are certain people that don't bring out the best in you, that there's something about them that they just always rub you the wrong way, that's a trigger. So it's learning to know what is that trigger and why is that person why does that person get me upset just by speaking to them. They haven't done anything to me, but they're triggering something inside me. So this is the point when you learn to recognize that and then to look for the root and again to be able to shift it and move on. Also to use your discernment in any situation for things that you used to allow to let slide. And now it's like, no, that didn't really serve me. So I'm going to use my discernment this time around and I'm going to shift that. So that may be for the other person, but it's not for me. So I'm going to shift that and say, thank you, but no thank you. So you're learning more about yourself and also to let go of anything that you're holding on to, which is probably one of the hardest things for humans to do, is to be able to let go of their stuff. And we do carry a lot of stuff. And just to be able to let go of that and realize, that we can go deeper and realize what's going on. Then my personal favorite in the next stage is the tests and the initiations. Some of you will get tested more than others. It depends on what your journey is, and it depends on what you set up on the other side. And the tests and initiations are really the universe's way of saying to you, do you really understand the lesson? Have you really gotten it? And do you know how to apply that wisdom that you learned from that? When you truly understand and you get the lesson, the other side knows. You're pretty much done at that time. You move forward. And like I said, as one who's been tested and initiated many times, you know when you're done. You're like, it's just a knowing inside of you and your heart, and you're going, okay, I really have that now. I'm good. I'm golden. I don't need to repeat that lesson. But until you do get to that point, the universe can also be very funny and, in a way that they can kind of go, oh, it's been a while now. Let's test that that person again. Let's see if she's really got it. So they'll bring up a situation to test you if you really did get it, which, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So then they'll keep doing that until you finally get the lesson. And hopefully it doesn't take you too long, because they will give you, that's the beauty of it. They will give you as many opportunities as you need to understand that. So if you want to pick the wrong guy or the wrong woman 20, 30, 40 times, fine. That there's no judgment. It's for you to figure out when you get that lesson. So, you will also be tested throughout your life as you go. It's just sometimes it can be bang, 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 where there's no let up with the tests. And then other times you can go for a period of time, and then here comes one. So, as the path for the spiritual person narrows, so in the beginning, you're here. And as you start to grow and learn and expand and understand things, the path narrows. So as it narrows, it becomes more challenging. right? More responsibility, more what's the word I'm looking for? The higher you go, the more you level up, the more responsibility, the more challenges that they will give you to understand, okay, no matter what happens, you'll be able to handle it, because some people have really huge responsibilities in to not only to the people that surround them, but the humanity. So they're going to really test you to make sure you know what you're doing. So you understand, and to see, put you under that pressure, almost like a pressure cooker, to see what you're made of. Are you strong enough? Do you understand without going into panic mode that you've got this, that you're okay? Like I said, the more responsibility, the more challenges. And hearts will be broken. You will go through some of these tests that will be, and I'm being totally honest in this, and maybe a lot of people don't speak about it, but your heart will be broken. It could be from family, it could be from a spouse, it could be your friends. And situations may occur where your heart is totally, totally broken. And they want to see how you react to it. Are you quick to forgive? Are you quick to send them love? Are you quick to understand what their motive was behind the situation? So if you respond with wisdom, you've won the day. You've won the day. But if you didn't, like I said, they'll just simply give you another test. And during this time also, you can kind of experience at times being very much in the hermit mode, where you're just connecting into yourself and the other side, and you're having to undergo certain changes. Again, more study, more testing. So that's always a fun thing. But the better that you get at knowing yourself and how the universe works, the easier it gets. So then you reach the stage of empowerment, of self-mastery, where you truly, truly believe in yourself. You have faith. You have faith in the universe. You believe without a doubt. You don't have any doubting moments anymore. You know who you are. You know who you are, and you accept all of yourself. Not just the good, but you accept the mistakes, the things that I regret, all that what we would consider negative. You accept all of that as a whole. And you've integrated into that, so it no longer becomes good or bad. You are just in a neutral state, and you are whole. That you are able to see yourself within everyone else, every being, every animal, every tree, every blade of grass, that you are able to see yourself in everything, because you are part of everything. You're part of everything in this universe. So when you get to that point, you will see it from a point of neutrality. There's no judgment. There's no attachment to anything. There's no illusion. There's no fear. There's just love, neutrality, and alignment with self and with source. That's self-mastery. And as that path narrows, there's not many. There's not many that are able to get to that point. And they're reminding me now that most of the time, that's a process of many lifetimes. So they're saying, don't be too hard on yourself. And don't kick yourself if you think you should be further along than you are. Well, everybody else is ahead of me, or I don't understand this, or I should have learned this when I was younger. Don't be hard on yourself. You are always exactly where you're supposed to be in that given moment. And even if you don't see the path that is clear in the moment, sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it's about the divine timing, and the universe won't let you get to a certain point before you're ready. So that's a really important thing that they're saying. It's kind of like opening a restaurant with no food. People are coming in and there's no food, but you have the restaurant. So you have to be prepared. You have to be, what's the word that I'm looking for? Help me out, guys. A well-oiled machine, and be able to see things from a higher perspective, and have gone through many things to be able to help others. If you haven't necessarily experienced life's challenges and life has been all good for you, how do you help other people? So you have to come from that understanding of, yeah, I've been there too. I know what you're talking about. I've been there too. So this is just a process. This is just a process. And remember, these are just cliff notes. This is just scratching the surface. There is so much on the road to self-mastery. And it's okay if you don't get it in this lifetime. You have plenty of time and opportunity. And your path will always be laid out for you, what you are supposed to accomplish and learn in this life. And there are limitless ways for us to experience our lives. So make sure on your journey to be mindful and embrace and honor each other. Honor, because when you look at someone else, you look at yourself. So remember to embrace and honor all others, for we all travel the same road. So this is just a little glimpse. I hope that message was for somebody and that they needed to hear that. So on October 10th, I will be teaching an online class on the power of rituals. So if you're interested or you need more information, you can go to my website, which is posted below, and you can buy tickets right there. Or if you need any additional information, you can email me. So thank you all very much, and I'm sending you much love and light, and I'm wishing you a very happy September, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.